1, 2, 3, 2 more. 1, 2. I does the 30 minutes activity daily. Love your body, treat your body right. Vegetables, make sure you eat plenty. Children do 60 minutes activity daily. Drink some water when you feel thirsty. Cut down dessert and have a smoothie. Jamaicans, love your body, treat your body right. Love your body, treat your body right. Just eat right. Love your body, treat your body right. Love your body, treat your body right. One more time now. Love your body, treat your body right. Love your body, treat your body right. Just eat right. Love your body, treat your body right. Love your body, treat your body right. Listen up. Make sure you know your health status. Go a doctor and get a regular checkup. Chronic disease can slowly creep up. We can lower the risk and live up. If we just eat right and get moving, jumping, running, dancing or skipping, change the children, them lazy habit. Make them play out the door and put down the tablet. Jamaicans, love your body, treat your body right. Love your body, treat your body right. Just eat right. Love your body, treat your body right. Love your body, treat your body right. Jamaica get moving. Love your body, treat your body right. Love your body, treat your body right. Just eat right. Love your body, treat your body right. Love your body, treat your body right. After two, make me hear you say I love me. 1, 2. I love me. 1, 2. I love me. 1, 2. I love me. After two, make me hear you say I love me. 1, 2. I love me. 1, 2. I love me. 1, 2. Jamaicans, love your body, treat your body right. Love your body, treat your body right. Just eat right. Love your body, treat your body right. Love your body, treat your body right. One more time now. Love your body, treat your body right. Love your body, treat your body right. Just eat right. Love your body, treat your body right. Love your body, treat your body right. Jamaica get moving. Love your body, treat your body right. Love your body, treat your body right. Just eat right. Love your body, treat your body right. Love your body, treat your body right. One more time now. Love your body, treat your body right. Love your body, treat your body right. Just eat right. Love your body, treat your body right. Love your body, treat your body right. Listen up.
Love your body, treat your body right. Love your body, treat your body right.
Hey, it's the girl Shensia with a message to you from myself and the Ministry of Health and Wellness. Shen Yang, everyone see wear a mask, let the numbers drop. I don't want COVID, lay you down flat. Nose and mouth, you pick cover up that. Oh, 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 sanitize or get hospitalized. Fight the virus and fight for your life, yeah. Nobody talk about say you no response no more. Don't be reckless, cause you test so you not have it. You can still get the virus from somebody. Don't be reckless, cause you test so you not have it. You can still get the virus. So keep the numbers down. Protect yourself and the people around. COVID in town, 6 feet apart and 6 feet in the ground. Keep the numbers down. Protect yourself and the people around. COVID in town, 6 feet apart and 6 feet in the ground. Stay alive, stay alive, stay alive, stay alive, stay alive, stay alive.
Check, 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 check. Greetings, 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 greetings. Greetings, everybody. Greetings. Welcome, 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 welcome. I see a bunch of new faces and I see a bunch of old faces. Greetings, everybody. Greetings, 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 and peace profound. We are live on the chopping block with yours truly, Chopper. All right, so welcome everybody. Welcome. Greetings again. Greetings everybody. Beverly Nelson, Barbara Buchanan, Oscar Williams, and Bartley Swaby. Paul C. Distance and Cleon Spence. Greetings to you everybody. Welcome to this another episode of the Chopping Block with yours truly, Chopper John West. Ryan Strawn, I see you. Welcome. Alexander Schrack, welcome my brother. Good to see you. Last week we had councillor for the Raytown division last week, which was a very good discussion. We talked about the happenings in Kingston Central Division. Well, the Kingston Central constituency, of which Rosie Hamilton is the sitting councillor for the Raytown division, and she went in depth into a lot of discussion talking about the crime and violence in the area, the crime and violence in that area, and as such, we have sought to have a discussion with the Member of Parliament, Donovan Williams, who's going to be joining us very soon, because we wanted to follow up on what has been happening in Central Kingston. Bridget Phillips, we see you. Good to see you as well. Anthony, evening. Good to see you, my brother. Blessings. Jovi Spence, welcome. So Donovan Williams is going to join us in a few minutes, and we're going to expand on the conversation we had last week with Rosalie Hamilton, just to look at what's happening in Central Kingston and how it's been since he became the Member of Parliament. As you know, Donovan Williams is an attorney at law turned politician, right? I'm assuming it would be fair to say that it runs in the family. And for those of you who don't know, Donovan Williams is the brother of Mayor Delroy Williams, Mayor for Kingston and St. Andrew Corporation, or it's now Kingston and St. Andrew Municipal Corporation. So it runs in the family, right? So we want to get an idea from him as being the head and the chairman of the constituency, the head honcho, they say. I think Rosalie Hamilton did a very good job last week in explaining what are some of the issues that they're having in the constituency. But I think it was fair for us not to stop at the councillor, but to invite the Member of Parliament. I can say to you that without any twisting of the arms, he was extremely willing to, he was very willing to come on board and to have that discussion with us. So he should be joining us in a few minutes. But here's a few things that we need. As a matter of fact, let me just put this out there, guys, that next week, Sunday, and I want to sort of make this announcement pretty early so that persons can start to get their devices charged up and ready for a good discussion. Next week, we're going to have a very, very crucial discussion, a discussion that has been in the making for quite some time. And next week, we're going to have live on the chopping block, none other than, should I say it now, or should I hold it for a little later? I'll hold it for a little later, but this is going to be a surprise, somewhat a surprise, but it's going to be a very interesting conversation with one of the most sought after Member of Parliament. And I'll tell you that as soon as MP Williams come on board. But that's going to be a good discussion for next week, Sunday. I think that discussion, however, is going to be let me give that to you in our second break. But that's going to be a very interesting discussion. A lot happened throughout this week. A lot for us to talk about, a lot for us to discuss. The controversy and the violence still continues in Central Kingston. And as such, that's one of the reasons why we're bringing on MP Williams to have that discussion, because it doesn't stop, you know. And it's interesting because what we have seen is a pattern. And I elaborated on it last week, and I still believe that is something that we need to drive the point home. The first election that was held, I think it was in 2010, or let me say in 2007, when Bruce Golding came to office. The then Prime Minister, Portia Simpson Miller, did not give a concession speech. I don't know if anybody remember. So he never conceded. And for those of you who don't understand, she just never accepted defeat. She never acknowledged the fact that the electorate spoke and the people of Jamaica spoke and They spoke by way of the ballot, and a change came. And we noticed, if I'm not mistaken, the second election, which was in 2016, if I'm not mistaken, the same thing happened. Andrew Holness this time became the Prime Minister of Jamaica. And Portia Simpson Miller again was at the helm. And for the second time around, did not give a concession speech. So that to me is a pattern. What we're seeing in Central Kingston, which is a matter that, you know, we have to take stock of it, is that it doesn't seem to me like the opposition accept the fact that there is the people of Central Kingston have spoken, and they have chosen the Jamaica Labour Party representative to lead the constituency. Doesn't seem to me like that's an accepted position on the part of the opposition. Because there's no way that could be an accepted path when there is continuous campaigning, even getting close to a year from the election. If we were to go by what Rosie Hamilton said to us, and I have personally no reason to doubt her. She said to us last week on this program that all she's asking for is some space and to give her newly elected member of parliament a chance to breathe and to perform. And when, you know, that's not a cry we hear very often in Jamaica. I know everybody will say Rosie is very vocal. Rosie has been around the block for quite some time. She was the face of the constituency. That constituency has been held by the People's National Party for over 40 years. The first election was won in 1944 and was won by the Jamaica Labour Party representative Frank Pixley, 1944. And since then, the JLP probably held it one more time, and that was in 1980. We had well, not in 1980, in 1983, when the People's National Party did not contest the general election, and as such, all 60 seats went to the JLP. Outside of that, the PNP would have controlled that constituency for many decades, many years, right? So for a very long time, Rosie Hamilton has been the face. It's the first time, at least in my political life, or understanding politics, or following politics, or commenting on politics, I would have had the pleasure of referring to a Jamaica Labour Party member of parliament for Central Kingston. So that's a difference, that's a change. But the fact of the matter is, what you're seeing in terms of the continuous campaigning is that the opposition doesn't seem like they've accepted the fact that the people spoke. So we want to bring MP Williams on, because I want to follow up on the discussion we had last week. As I said to you before, that discussion was with Councillor Hamilton, and I want to now make way for the MP to give us his take on what's happening down there in Central Kingston. Sir Williams, greetings to you, my brother. How you doing?
You and your subscribers, audience, my constituents, all who have joined you across the world. Greetings.
Appreciate you coming through, MP Williams. Like I said to you before, it's sort of strange when you refer to Central Kingston. It is almost like you're speaking Spanish when you're referring to Central Kingston and referring to a Jamaica Labour Party member of parliament. This is unheard of. How does it feel sitting in that seat?
Well, it's indeed a privilege and an honor that the constituents have seen it fit to give me a chance to perform and to represent the constituency. It sometimes I think about it, and you know, when it dawns on me what has really happened, you know, I have to say thank you. I have to say thanks to the people for entrusting me, putting that confidence in me,
right?
To
awesome.
to represent them. It feels it's sometimes it can be a little trembling.
I understand you. I understand you, MP Williams.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
for those of you who don't know, you are the brother of Mayor Williams, correct?
Yes.
Awesome. So I was saying earlier in my commentary that the politics runs through the family. You would have heard the discussion last week with Councillor Hamilton. And by the way, is your phone turned vertical or horizontal?
It's vertical.
Let's try the other way and see what happened there. We want to make sure that the image.
Okay.
Yeah. If it's not rotating.
No.
All right, cool. That's not a problem. Not a problem.
You see? Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, you
man,
see me though?
Yeah, but you're perfect. I just wanted to fill the screen up. If you get it rotated the other way around, then it will be a little better. But that's not a big deal.
Oh, you mean all right? Hold on a minute there.
Right.
Is it a little better now?
No, man, you're perfect. You're perfect.
Okay.
Good.
All
You're
right.
perfect. Right. So yes, folks. So MP Williams, as you've heard, you must have seen the discussion last week with Councillor Hamilton, and she would have delved into some of the activities happening there. I mean, there's continuous killings and murders in your constituency, and we have to ask, because I am one of the few people out here who always promote the argument that political violence in Jamaica is gone. And it's sort of sad. It's sort of a sad situation when you have to sort of examine your argument to say, but am I really correct in saying that, when what we're seeing in Central Kingston sometimes seems to be politically connected? What's your take on what's happening in the constituency? Let me touch on that first. Tell me your perspective of what's happening there.
Well, my perspective, I would really like to begin with, let's go back to election day in the constituency, and leading up to election day. We had a peaceful constituency, people we were essentially crime-free. People were going across borders. Tel Aviv people were in South in Tel Aviv, Alman Town, Franklin Town. Everybody was just going about their business. I see guys from Tel Aviv who have never been in years up Gold Street or up High Holborn, in South Fleet Street. They were there, We had a good time, and everybody, we had a march, a peace march, and we brought the young men together, and we said, look here, we need a crime-free community, and it worked up to that point. Up to election day, everybody was comfortable going about their jolly business, and we had a serious shooting the afternoon of the election. One young man, well, 3 persons were shot up. Of course, you would have remembered that our national footballer, former representative Teddy Johnson,
yes,
was shot in that incident. One of my workers, Ronald, was shot as well. And I will be frank, I think from that moment, it took a little downturn. I will say to you that it took a turn. Now, the question is whether it was really politically motivated, or whether it was gang related, or whether somebody had a beef with somebody and saw the opportunity.
Right.
Because everything was going good. Nobody was looking over their backs, over their shoulders. So somebody took the opportunity to shot these people were in South, and this was deep South side. And I would say it took a little twist from there. Now, you see, trust is important. In any relationship, trust is important. I must be able to trust you. You must be able to trust me. Whenever you have a breakdown in trust, you're setting up yourself. Consequences flow. No. So I just gave you a little background. No, I am not saying that even prior to the election and over the years before I was actually inserted in the constituency, that people never had beef. Don't get me wrong, you know.
Right.
People have historical beef. And you know what I mean when I say beef in Jamaican terms.
Of course.
You know, conflicts. People have a people. But we thought we had reached a stage where people were saying, you know what? Let bygones be bygones.
Absolutely.
Let's turn over a new leaf. Let's have a peaceful election. And I will commend my opponents. I will commend both parties for the effort leading up to the election.
Yes.
It was a peaceful election. We were able to campaign all over the constituency. Some people saw me in some places. They wonder, what you doing here, young man? You're brave, you know. Some people say, boy, you're brave, you know, you're one of the bravest candidates I see you. Some places I see you, you know. Some candidates don't go here. But if I'm going to represent, I'm putting up myself for representation. I have to go everywhere. I have to let the people see I'm here for you. So we had a peaceful campaign. You know, and I must commend the parties. But since then, it has taken a dive.
But what changed? What changed after that shooting election? Because I heard there was a shooting right after the election. What changed there, though?
Well, you know, it as I said, I can't, you know, the police did their investigation. From my perspective, there are some aspects. Sometimes you have to speculate based on anecdotal evidence and things that you hear. But this shooting occurred about 4 o'clock, minutes to 4 in the evening on the election day.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had some shootings after that as well. And as I said, the trust between the various factions and communities, you know, in the persons in the community, the trust went. And I will be frank. Yes, there is some gang-related issues. Yes. You know, people from this side and people from this side can't see eye to eye. I don't know if it is an ego trip. I don't know if it is long-standing issues people have that predates my introduction into the constituency.
Yes.
I don't know if a new paradigm, you know, there is a shift now. The Jamaica Labour Party is now, you know, have a JLP MP. Right. These are things now that if you were set in your ways over the years, you now have to begin to grapple with this. This is something that you know have to begin to live with.
Right. Because there's a difference now.
Yeah, there's a difference now. I would think also that I may have been misunderstood by factions or people in the community. Because, you know, when a JLP MP is now here, so I don't know if some people now get the impression that, or draw that conclusion that, look here, boy, we're not gonna get no, you know, we're not gonna get no help, you know, because them just gonna look after South now, and them just gonna look after the labor right areas, and them not gonna pay with no mind. So, you know, no, Mark, you know, I'm not saying definitively that this is the case. Right. I'm just looking at, because I'm trying to reason out what is happening as well, you know. Mark, it's a complex issue, you know. So you have to be careful. It's a complex issue. Because as I said before, you have people who have issues with each other from a long time.
But remember, you know, MP, remember one thing, you know, there's something that we have to always be cognizant of.
Yes.
Central Kingston has a history of political and gang violence. Is that a constituency that is any new to this? It's not something new. If you go back to the history of politics in Jamaica, one of the first place that gunshot fire for politics is in Central Kingston.
Wow.
If you go back to some of the most notorious gangs and gunmen back in the days, it is Central Kingston. Central Kingston was where Michael Manley started his political campaigning. It was where Michael Manley took his maiden as a politician. So I'm saying this to say to you that sometimes people see these things happening and probably believe that it is new. It is not really new. So there's a lot on your shoulder as a young, bright, enthusiastic member of parliament. There's a whole lot on your shoulder to break that spell of what Central Kingston is noted for. And that is a task that you have at hand. It's not an easy shoe to fill. And I mean, I know it's tough, but here's a question I want to ask you though, MP. Yeah. Since the election, has the opposition congratulated you, concede any form of concession?
Congratulated me. I'm trying to recall. I know the young lady made a video after the election and she thanked her supporters.
Yes.
I'm trying to recall whether she had acknowledged or conceded. I don't want to be unkind to her. I can't remember. But she never congratulated me directly. I don't remember being congratulated directly. I've not received a phone call. I've not received an email, a letter, or WhatsApp.
And the reason I ask, because we have done our own little due diligence, and we didn't find anything to suggest that that sort of gesture was made. And not only that, it would suggest that there's a pattern along that political movement where people don't accept changes. Jamaica has changed.
There is a talk that Jamaica is PNP country.
That was a talk.
You remember that?
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, they said Jamaica is PNP country, but I never believed that. So probably the people are afraid to concede because in the back of their heads, it's a PNP country.
Absolutely.
The electorate, we have a new electorate, a more mature electorate. People are thinking now, social media, and people like you are educating the people and raising issues. People are now thinking.
And that's what we need, because if we don't start to look at the country different, look at how politics is played differently, then we're going to be going in a hamster wheel around the same circle every 5 years. We have an election, the same thing.
No, in my view, bossy, no political party owns Jamaica.
Absolutely.
If you perform, the people will put their trust in you and they will reward you.
Absolutely.
If you don't perform, let's say, for example, look at Central Kingston, big boss. Let's look at Central Kingston. Where is the legacy of the People's National Party in Central Kingston? What major monument, what major institution, what can we point to? And I am here, I stand to be educated,
Yes.
How could you have control? Well, how could the people have put their trust in you for so many years? Over 40 years.
Yes.
And you allow that constituency to sink to that level of deterioration, housing deterioration, social deterioration. I mean, it's amazing. It's amazing. Wow. No. If I am there, if my political party is in Central Kingston for 40 years and I can't show something major, some infrastructural development.
I don't even think you need 40 years.
Well, in other words, when I started campaigning in Central Kingston, I was amazed at the kind of urban decay that I saw and the conditions that some people are living in. We had to rehabilitate houses. I had to beg, I had to reach out to agencies to help some people. And this is not because of campaigning, because I want, I was just doing it because when I saw some of the things, I was naturally touched.
Yes.
I saw a gentleman when I was around there on a mattress that was infested and he never had a roof. And this is a senior elderly man. When I walk, and that's not the only one. I've seen so much. And I'm saying, how could we have allowed the constituency to deteriorate like that? But I don't want to dwell on the past.
Right,
No, it is important to know, that there's a correlation between crime, between urban decay and crime,
Yes.
There is a correlation,
Walk us through that connection there, MP.
Yes. Now, if your community or your space that you exist in is allowed to rot, and you don't see any intervention on the part of government or on the part of your representative, you begin to think that I am forgotten. I have no, I don't belong. I don't belong. We are ignored. I am neglected. So guess what? We are nobody. So just do what we want to do. Nobody's showing any interest in us. Look at their drains. Look at the manhole covers. I can't even drive over the road. When I come in the constituency, I drive along Tower Avenue, Tower Street there, and you have to stop and try to maneuver for your tire to go over. If you allow a constituency to decay like that,
yes,
you are saying to the people, you're diminishing any pride they have in themselves and their constituency. No, you have people who will fight through it, I'm not saying because of the squalor and the urban decay, everybody is going to give up. There are people who battle through it. But there are people who are weaker in souls, who see what is happening. They are unemployed. Nobody's paying any attention. Their place is decaying. And they just feel like they are forgotten. And they say, look here, my way out of this is a machine, When you start to instill pride in people and improve their space, and they see activity in their community, and they see somebody who's caring, they will buy into their community, It filters down.
Absolutely.
It filters down eventually,
Absolutely.
So if you ask the criminologists, those social researchers, they will tell you that the inner cities, without some serious infrastructural investment, without serious social intervention, they will continue to produce crime. Let me give you another example about the housing. Now, there are a lot of people, a lot of houses, persons living in central Kingston, that they're on some properties for like 20, 30 years. Now, in law, if you're on a property for 12 years, undisturbed, unmolested, uninterrupted, and you pay a little property taxes and you take care of the place and nobody interferes with you, you can get that property.
Yes.
In law, by law, you can. And I am thankful for for the government's initiative, because we now have what they call an adjudication process, and we now have an institution called LAM, Land Administration and Management Program, and the government is moving towards regularizing and helping people to get their title. But I want to tie it in with the crime. Now look at this now. If these people don't get ownership, title to these properties, what will happen? This is what will happen. They will not invest $1 in it because they don't want to build it up and then John Tom come take it.
Right. There's no sense of pride.
So you want them to know, instead of them get some blocks and cement and construct the house properly, they will get some zinc.
Right. Because that's temporary.
Because I am not sure of my tenure. I don't want security of tenure. So you just put up a little zinc and go and catch. Now what that does, you create trappies.
Yes.
You create people walking to you don't have a proper urban infrastructure, proper housing structure. Because you have pier broke down fence, you have zinc and walk 2-man fence, you have board on at the back and people walk to your fence. Some people in them house, they will tell you, gunmen just run through them yard at night time.
And you can't do nothing.
And you can't do nothing.
Because there's no ownership.
No, I'm just saying now. How will renewal help the crime? Urban renewal. If people now begin to get titles for these properties. Some of them,
Yes.
it is justified. They're living there for years. Nobody not coming back there. And let me tell you, if them get them title, they will get help. They have their little relatives are foreign. Them can get a little building grant from the MP, a little material from the CDF. Them can beg, and them can take a little time, build up them proper fence, build up them proper structure. What will happen now? You have a proper structured community. Nobody can run through nobody yard again.
Right. So let me ask you something, MP. The new Parliament building is slated to be constructed, and I think a big portion of it will fall in your constituency. How is that going to impact the living condition of some of the persons in the Hero Circle area?
Well, the Parliament building, to the best of my knowledge, will not affect the residential situation as it is now. The Parliament building is concentrating on Hero Circles, but I will tell you that that is going to be a massive project. First thing off the bat, employment.
There you go.
First thing, employment. A lot of young people right now, a lot of people I talk to, them just waiting for it to start to get to go work,
Precisely, because that's a big deal.
They can't wait for that to start because they want to work. Some of these young men, that we label as gangsters and we write them off. Because when I go and I talk to them about it, I make no apologies to it about it, Sometimes police pass, them see me with so-called people they call gangsters. Me talking to them.
You have to. That's your job. I mean,
a lot of them want to work. A lot of them want to work, Mark, we have the usual problems. Some not so literate.
There you go.
But they want to work. If you provide the employment now, you get them busy. Them say the devil find work for. If some of these youth start to go out and they get employment, it helps the crime. You understand me? Also, that project I think will have spin-offs and linkages. Because a lot of business opportunities will be provided,
Right.
There are, wherever you have a major site, there's business opportunity. People can have restaurants, people can sell items, tradesmen, people who are good tradesmen can come and get work, because I know that project is sensitive where that is concerned.
Yes.
That they are going to, as best as possible, absorb the communities. And not only Almontown, because we have the west side, you have West Kingston, and you have leader of the opposition's community constituency. So it touches on some other constituencies, but for the most part, you're correct. It's biased towards Almontown, and Almontown people are looking forward to it. And and something good about that project, as you mentioned it will also, when the Parliament building is completed, I am made to understand that it will also provide continuous employment for the people in the community.
Of course, that's a
continuous employment.
Right, and that's why it's important now. It's important that, and that's why I said to you in the earlier part of the conversation, is that the task at hand for you is the bar is high, because you now have the responsibility, MP, of getting your constituency ready for this sort of investment in terms of the infrastructure that is coming in. The other question I wanted to ask you was, we're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, I want to give you a minute, and when we come back, I want you to look at some of the broad solutions to some of the issues in Central Kingston, because I could sit here all night and tell you, like I did last week with Rosie, I pointed out some of the issues that Central Kingston has. And I brought her back, and I brought our viewers back to the origin of crime and violence in Central Kingston. I made no bones about it that crime in that area, MP, is nothing new. And I said to them that the first gunshot fire after Bustamante was when he led a march from Bellevue Hospital up the street and then bust some shot after him up there. Nobody knew that gunshot were even around.
Really?
So, yes, it started there. and I remind people all the time. I want, one thing, MP, why I'm very, very sensitive about Central Kingston. And I'm also disappointed in Central Kingston. Why? Because Central Kingston, and I'm disappointed in the past administration. And here's why. The past administration, which is the People's National Party, would have ruled that constituency for about 3 to 4 decades. The leader of the People's National Party, the revered man himself, Michael Manley, that was his constituency. Now, ask me, what is the legacy of Edward Seaga on Western Kingston? And I'm making the comparison because it ought to be made. It ought to be made. Because there's no way you can control an area for such a long time and you left nothing, like you just pointed out a while ago. Nothing is left but decay. Now, at some point though, MP, you must admit that there is going to be a time when you cannot say, let's blame it on the PNP. At some point, and I'm not expecting you to own it and hold it now, because you just got it. But
yes,
when you come back, I want you to know, outline to us, what are some of the plans? Because when you win your second term, it is time for you to own it. Own it. So we're going to take a quick break, MP Williams.
We're not waiting on the second term. We're working from now.
All right, there you go. So we're going to come right back, guys. Stick and stay. You're on the chopper.
This is Jamaica land we love. But in the blink of an eye, someone may die.
This is our country, and we have to take a stand.
We are our brother's keeper. We make the country we live in.
So we have to stand up and not make crime, mash it up.
Standing for women and children.
Take a stand for each other.
Take a stand for the culture.
Happy we country. We can't make crime mash it up.
A message from Crime Stop and the JCF. Stand for something.
My name is Noel Chang. I'm a constable attached to the Mobile Reserve Division and the JCF SWAT team. I've been a member of this team for 2 fulfilling years. The training, of course, would have helped me to grow as well. I find it to be very fulfilling playing an active role in the crime fight and in developing my nation. Join the JCF and start a career.
Domestic conflicts are not ignored by the Jamaica Constabulary Force, as they can result in serious injury or death.
Good afternoon, ma'am. I am Constable McIntyre, along with Constable Pierce. We received a telephone call re a domestic dispute at this location. Are you okay, ma'am?
Just me and my husband. We had a dispute. I was asking him some questions, and he got all upset on me.
Yo, when I tell you stop stressing me out, you're not here, you're not listen.
In these situations, we make sure that all parties involved are unharmed and prevent the situation from continuing or escalating. It's also our duty to inform the disputing parties that counseling is available to prevent a recurrence of the situation. If there is any evidence of harm to anyone, the police have a duty to commence an investigation. Help us to keep you safe. the Jamaica Constabulary Force, a force for good.
All right, so welcome back, everybody. Welcome back, welcome back. In case you're just joining us, we have MP Donovan Williams, who is the Member of Parliament for Kingston Central, or Central Kingston. Kingston Central is a police division, and Central Kingston is the constituency that he leads. MP Williams, welcome back.
Yes,
just before we left, I said I wanted us to, because we can't spend all night here, and look at all the negatives that is happening in the constituency. But I think we should do a 70-30. 30% on the negatives and 70% on the positive. Because the truth is, I still believe, despite what is happening in Central Kingston, I honestly believe that Central Kingston has some of the best people and has produced some giants. It's not just all doom and gloom. And I think your responsibility is going to be high, like I said to you. And it's to bring out the talent, bring out the good that I know exists in Central Kingston. So we want to look at some of the solution. Member Williams, you would have come to the constituency, of course, campaign on a plan to remove or to bring prosperity to that constituency. What are some of the plans you have for Central Kingston?
All right. So as I said earlier, that the infrastructure renewal is very important. By that I mean your roads, your drainage covers, the housing, the buildings, the bushy areas, the dilapidated buildings, the poor sanitation. I believe that optics cannot be ignored. Now, if you begin to work on your infrastructure,
yes,
it is going to be obvious that something is happening. So when I say infrastructure, I mean improving your housing stock, social housing, renewing, fixing your roads. There are some roads in the constituency that have been neglected for several years. We have begun to repair some of them. In fact, since my introduction to the constituency, I think I have done at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, about 10 roads already. You believe that?
10 roads?
10
roads. Wow.
Or a little more. 10 roads. When I said 10 roads, I mean rehabilitate. You remember last year, after Hurricane Zeta, the Prime Minister announced a Christmas grant to assist with parochial, with community roads.
Yes.
And I went at sea with that and repaired some of those roads. And the residents are very happy. No.
Right.
So roads, infrastructure, these drainage covers.
Yes.
I'm on a drive to repair all of them. What will that do? Since we're talking about crime, ease of movement for the police.
Yes. You're creating that ease of movement. Yes.
Exactly. Sanitation is a big challenge in the constituency. When I came there, I see some dump, and the people tell you, we have removed a lot of those dump sites. Even as we speak, there is a site along Lower South Camp Road. If you follow my Instagram page, you'll see it. Along with Councillor Hamilton, we have, and as some agencies, for example, TPD, KCMC, we have started a project there. We have removed the dump, the rubbish, or I should say, the solid waste.
Yes.
And we are creating a cultural space there.
Yes.
I don't know, when I was campaigning, I went over by St. Michael's Primary School, across from St. Michael's Primary School over Tower. And if you see the condition of the solid waste there, we clean that. Today, I had a meeting with the principal by St. Michael's Primary the other day, and she said, you are the one who cleaned that space across the school. And she said, thank you, Mr. Williams. Thank you. So sanitation is critical. Now, when you begin to do all of this, you're also creating employment. Because when you start to improve the housing stock and you start to fix the roads and the drains and you're creating employment. Now, if you create employment, then you're helping to put idle hands at work.
Yes.
Training is important. There are a lot of young people. I've been assisting a lot of young people with their continuing education. So that is critical. We have to keep the young men in school, keep the youth in school. Help them with their CXC fees, keep them in school. Help them with their tuition, their final year tuition. The other day, a young man asked me to assist him his final year at UE.
Yes.
And you know, when I look at it, I say, I have to help this young man, you know. You know why? Because here am I talking about crime and the young men. But here's a young man at school.
Right.
Trying to finish. Now, if we let him drop out, then we have a problem.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
We have to help him. So education. Yeah, so education is another aspect of the community that I'm looking at. We have been helping a lot of bursaries. So we want to keep the young people in school. There is the whole issue of, as I said to you earlier, land tenure. We need to get these people who live on these properties for years titled. Get them titled. I believe once we start getting people titles in their hands, you will see an overall improvement in the infrastructure and the face of the community. And I will tell you, already, we're seeing some wonderful buildings in the community, in the constituency, As we speak, as we speak, development is taking place in the constituency, We're trying to attract, people are coming back into the constituency, So I'm trying to tell these young men that there's hope. Right now, there's a hardware on Victoria Avenue that is a building that is being renovated. It's a business. It's going to be a hardware. A lot of young men working there right now. And I'm sure when the hardware is open, they're going to employ people. They're going to employ some of these young men. So what I'm saying, we have plans to bring back investment to the constituency. We have also identified a property that I'm trying to get an interested party to erect a call center there so we can employ.
That's massive employment there now.
At least 150 young people.
There you go. There you go.
So that's a project I'm working on. We're going to be renovating some of those housing schemes. We're going to be building some housing. As I speak to you, I can't say everything, but some things are in the pipeline.
Yes.
Some serious infrastructural planning. If you notice, the harbor is being revetted.
Yes, I noticed that construction along the harbor there. Tell us a little bit about that, MP.
All right.
Because a big portion of that runs into your constituency, correct?
Almost all of it. All of it is in my constituency. And it has provided significant employment. A lot of the young men are working down there. You understand?
But stick up in there, MP. Because that project along waterfront there is major. Plus, of course, you all know that we have the revamping of downtown Kingston itself. But you have a lot of people working from your constituency on that expansion in the corridor there.
Yes.
Why are we still having that influx of violence then? If employment is part of the solution.
All right. It's complex and it's a little tricky because although it's in the constituency, it runs along a certain section of the constituency. No, because, and this is where crime, and I'm trying to tell the young men, this is how crime debilitates you and retards your growth. Because it runs along a particular dimension of the constituency, corridor.
Yes.
There's another side of the constituency that might say, we don't want to go over that side, so they are not getting any work over there.
Oh.
Because they distrust. They're not sure they are comfortable there because of this down so, up so. Over here so, over there so.
Boundary lines.
boundary lines. And I'm going to say it here. I have a young man. When that, I recall, even before the election, somebody who's associated to the project said to me, you know any young man who can drive a tractor? I'm still on?
You're on. You might want
Yes.
to back up a little bit off your camera, MP.
Yes.
There you go. Perfect. Good.
Yes. When I was there, that particular site, I remember when the Honorable Prime Minister, the most Honorable Prime Minister, went to that opening ceremony, groundbreaking ceremony. He said in his speech, be peaceful, live to enjoy. Live to enjoy. Because we know when work starts, people have issues.
Yes, always.
Conflict over work. Now, I got somebody told me that there was an opening for a young man to drive a tractor. I know a young man in the community who can drive a tractor, and he's good, and he's not working. I call him up. I said, look here, you can drive a tractor. There's an opening down there, and I sent his name, and they went and interviewed him, and they tested him, and he drove the tractor excellently. Yes. And he was there working. But what happened? That young man is no longer there. Why? There was a shooting in the vicinity, and he said he's not going back down there because he's afraid, because him come from up top.
Yes.
So he's afraid to go down there, go work. No, he was working there, and everything was nice and rosy, you know. No. So this is how crime affects your community.
Yes,
that young man cannot go back to work. He's now unemployed, and he's bitter. He's bitter because he has no income and he has children. He's trying to get other jobs.
Yeah.
Because of the factions and the crime, as they would say, him have to watch him back.
Wow.
You understand me?
And you can multiply him by many others.
Many others. So I'm trying to tell the young men that if we live good, when the opportunities come up in the constituency, everybody can participate. You know, even that site, we have a rotation policy there, where we try to. I spoke with the contractors there. They have been good. We spoke to them and we asked them if we could introduce a rotation policy where some people who work like for 4 weeks and then the next person work for 4 weeks, or you do a fortnight, then this person gets a fortnight.
The benefits, yes.
And they bought into it. They bought into it. But when you have this crime situation now going on, a lot of young men are afraid to go down there and work because they're killing innocent people. They're killing people by association.
Right. MP,
you're not necessarily involved in the crime, but because you come from there and you know Tom, you're a target. That's not good.
Yes, it's not good. But MP, here's another side of the solutions that have been bandied about. Your opponent, Imani Duncan Price, made several calls via social media and other media. And what she's asking for, there's two things that she's putting on the table. And I just want to mention it to you. I don't know if she has mentioned it to you in person. I don't know if she has had any discussion with you. But what we have seen, what I have picked up on social media, that she's saying that the government should impose, or the Minister of National Security should impose a zone of special operations, because that is the solution to the problem. How do you feel about that?
Well, to be frank with you, Central Kingston is kind of unique. All right. The first thing I would say, a zone of special operation is within to introduce a zone of special operation is within the purview of the relevant authorities, Minister of National Security, the Prime Minister. And I am confident that when the relevant authority sees it fit, if it sees it fit, based on factors, based on their discussions with the police, based on, and I'm sure they have been having discussions, at that particular time, if they see it fit, they will introduce it. All right? No. In my view, however, what we need, I think the police, if the police introduce the right strategies the right strategy. And I'm beginning to see some of that in recent times. If we have a saturation, so to speak, of police in the constituency, if we have a proper strategy, a proper intelligence gathering strategy, if we develop a more community-based relation, I can improve our community relations with the citizens. Because the truth is, the police understand that there are good, decent citizens in Central Kingston.
Yes.
And they can establish good relationships with these people. Because some of these citizens can help with the intervention. So my view is that the police, you see, you don't want to, in my view, go to, this is how I believe it, exhaust all your remedies first.
Before a zone?
Yeah, exhaust all your available remedies. So,
but if you are bleeding, if you're in an accident and you're bleeding, you're taken to the emergency room, one of the first things to do is to stop the bleeding. Wouldn't a zone of special operations stop the bleeding? And then you can now perform the surgical, investigations?
No, I'm not saying it can't and it won't, because it has been shown to be effective, even though the opposition, it's kind of ironic because
they're calling for it when they oppose it.
It's kind of ironic because, there are some who lash out at Zozos, especially on the other side. They lash out at Zozos. Zozo is not a crime-fighting measure. Zozo is not a long-term measure. Zozo will not solve the problem. But on the other hand, so you see the irony of it. Zozo has now become the savior.
I'm saying to you, the hypocrisy that exists.
Exactly.
Because we must remember that the first zone of special operations that was implemented in Mount Salem in Montego Bay yielded significant result. We must also remember, and I'm saying this so persons can understand the context in which the argument is made. When the zone of special operation was implemented in Montego Bay overall, remember, Montego Bay in 1 year had 133 less murder.
What?
No, you cannot say to anybody that a zone of special operation doesn't work. No, it is the same People's National Party member Williams that did not support the state of emergency that coupled with the Zozo that gave you that significant result in St. James. So I find it a little strange that member Imani Duncan is now calling for a zone of special operation. I personally believe that she's onto something because the zone of special operation work. It has yielded significant result in St. Catherine, in St. James, in Clarendon. I think the only one that has some failure was the one in Western Kingston. Very strange, very strange. But it works.
And I wouldn't say failure, I wouldn't say failure. Because if you look at the stats, it has worked to a great extent. It's just that you still have a little you still have some flare-ups, and that will happen. So I'm not knocking. In fact, I'm not saying, if you notice now, I'm not saying as Zozo won't help, You understand me? I'm not saying that. What I'm saying, though, is that there are other measures, remedies that can be introduced in Central Kingston is a small place where the crime is occurring now. It's a small geographical area now.
But MP, the sort of social intervention that comes with Zozo.
Yes.
I think Central Kingston would benefit tremendously from it.
Yes. And so that is why I'm saying to you that I am confident that the authorities they are feeling the pulse of the situation, and I'm confident that at the appropriate time, if necessary, based on their assessment, and I'm leaving it to the authorities, that they will act. But in the interim, we have the police, the military, joint military operations. And I think with proper and effective police strategies,
yes,
the state, mark you, we know that sometimes, you know, police divisions have constraints, for example, manpower, resources, sometimes, and it can impact on their ability to manage a space and secure a space. And so I would call upon the commissioner to pay special attention to Kingston Central and to see to what extent they can improve or deploy more boots on the ground, saturate the area, create some buffers. Because you have some areas, you know, because like right now, if you drive along Hanover Street and Tel Aviv, Hanover Street there and Law Street, right at that intersection there.
Yes, I know that area.
Police are always posted there now.
Yes.
There's no shooting occurring there now. That side, no shooting has occurred, and I've been noticing it. It has been very calm there. That is the side. It's on. I don't know it's directly opposite Kingston Central Police Station.
I know exactly what you're talking about, man. It's actually at the intersection going towards you could make a right turn and go down to
East Queen Street.
Yeah.
Yes, East Queen Street. So right there's a buffer there. There's a post there, and it's very peaceful, and the people there are okay with that. However, where is the buffer in South? We need a buffer in South, because if the war is between South, so-called war is between South and that side, and you have buffer there, and they are protected, South people are saying we are not protected. We don't have no buffers. You see what I'm saying?
So do you think that this violence, MP, is politically motivated? Let me just put it to you bluntly.
And the truth is, I can't say that definitively. I would hope not. I would hope not, because I don't think, you know, we shouldn't allow political tribalism to rear its ugly head again in Jamaica.
Absolutely.
We have made significant progress. We have made significant strides. And that was evident during this election campaign. No, there may have been one and two little, incidents.
There, but nothing to call home about.
But there was no real clash of political parties and persons. I do not want to say that. I can't say definitively that it is politically motivated. It maybe have a little mix, you know. It may have a mixture of gang-related activities and probably a little politics spin over into it. But one thing I can say, that I just want to put this on the record.
Yes.
I am a member of parliament for the entire constituency. I am here to serve PNP. I am here to serve JLP. I am here to serve the people. You understand me? No, there is this ingrained cultural position that people take, that when the opposing party wins, you are going to get hungry. You see where I'm coming from? You're back with me?
Yeah, well, I'm here with you.
Yes. So there's this perception usually in Jamaica's political culture that when my party loses, I'm going to die. They're hungry.
Yes.
And them not going to pay me no mind. And it may motivate me to react in a way that, you know, yes, when in fact it is not so. In other words, if any good MP will tell you, yes, you have to look after your place, you have to look after your community. However, you are representing the entire constituency. Now, if you convey that to the constituency, that look here, we are here to work for the entire constituency. You know, I fixed a road the other day, you know, with the help of the municipality, you know. I lobbied, you know, and Council Hamilton, and I lobbied, you know. And I got a road repaired, you know, in a PNP part of the constituency, so-called PNP. We shouldn't even be saying that, but the truth is, it's a reality. They vote predominantly PNP. But when I was campaigning around there and walking and meeting the people, they showed me the road. They didn't say because Mr. Williams is a JLP man, them now go ask him and show him the road. Them show me the road. And when I look at the road, it's terrible for true. And this is a road where PNP workers live on, PNP activists live on, and the road was atrocious.
How many divisions are there in Central Kingston?
We have 2 divisions. We have the Raytown division, and we have the Almontown division.
All right. So
the Raytown division is where Mr. Hamilton is the councillor.
Right. And who is the councillor for the Almontown division?
The councillor is Charmaine, Miss Charmaine.
What's the relationship like with yourself and Charmaine?
Well, we don't have any animosity. We cross paths at a couple meetings. But I've done work in our constituency, and she knows that I've been doing work in her division. Franklin Town, Almond Town. She knows that we do work in that division. Kingston Gardens. Kingston Gardens is her. Hold on. Kingston Gardens is a part of her division.
Yes.
We just repaired. When I say no, not repaired. Overlay 3 roads in our division. 3 major roads. We did some in Franklin Town as well. So she can say of a truth that Mr. Williams does work in her division.
Yes.
So I'm not one who will ignore. If something needs to be done,
yes,
it must be done for the people.
And that's the reason I ask the question, you know, MP, is because I believe that the member of parliament, and this is how I look at it, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. I believe that the member of parliament is the head of the constituency, whether it has 4 JLP councillor or 4 PNP councillor. Once the member of parliament steps in, everybody needs to follow his lead.
Yeah.
Right? So, while Almontown division has a PNP councillor and the Raytown division has a GLP councillor, the constituency, which is superior to both, has a GLP member of parliament. And I believe it is your responsibility to bring both the Almontown councillor and the Raytown councillor, pull them together, and they need to follow your lead. Because I know you're a young member of parliament, probably new to the politics in a certain way, but I know you have the interest of the community at heart. Yourself and people like me, we are not from the old school. We don't believe in political tribalism. We don't believe in political borderline. We believe that we must go everywhere to have fun with people and help people. And that's what I'm picking up on the ground about you. You go anywhere. Like me, I go in Jamaica.
I am not afraid when I'm in Central Kingston. You know. I go everywhere. You know. I don't go away, and I'm not afraid to go anywhere. But you know, I want to say something about the question you asked about politics.
Yes.
Earlier on, whether politics have anything to do with it. No. As I said to you before, I can't say definitively and 100% that is so. But some things have happened in the constituency which raises my curiosity. Yes. And let me tell you an example. There's a young man who is a part of our organization. Because you know, every political party has its organization, workers. This is a young man who is employed. He goes to work. He's not a gangster. Nobody labels him. The police is not looking for him. He's never seen as one wanted. He looks out for the people in the constituency. If they need anything, him call Miss Hamilton, him call Mr. Williams. Mr. Williams, that lady's place dropping down, and if it's something for her, help her. That young man is not aligned to any gang. He was previously a supporter of the People's National Party.
Yes.
he liked our vision and he liked what the councillor had to offer in terms of her vision for the constituency, my vision for the constituency. And he said he wanted a change and he switched allegiance.
Yes.
No, that young man was shot down. He was killed.
Yes.
No, he was killed sitting at a bar, you know, relaxing. He was a shot. Today, to this date, we don't know any motive. We can't fathom the motive, any other motive. Because he had no issue, and I know the police, well, the police have arrested, and I gather someone has been charged for his murder.
Okay.
But so far, from my vantage point, we don't know of any other motive. So, while I can't say definitively it is politics, that is something now that you have to, you know, as a rational person, sit and look at and make your inferences. What could it be? Could it be that somebody wants to get back at this young man for, you know, I'm not trying to cast any aspirations or make any allegations, but, you know, that is one of the deaths in my constituency that today, to this date, it is troubling me.
Yes.
It troubles me.
Well, you might not be able to say, but remember, I have my feelers out there, and like I said to you before, I travel everywhere in Jamaica. I don't care where it is, from Tivoli to Rema to Arnett Garden to Denham Town, you name it. Me going at every crevice and corner. Me talk to everybody. One of the things I'm not able to do is to get members of the People's National Party to come on here and have a discussion with me publicly. But they talk to me in private. They talk to me. We have discussions. And you might not be able to say it because you don't have, you cannot say it without evidence. I can say it without providing a shred of evidence because me know. I mean, I have to tell nobody. Some of what is happening down there. I remember me never, what you call it? I wasn't elected. At least not yet. But there is some political tension in the constituency. And one of the reasons why you have political tensions, MP, is because there's a reluctance to accept that there's a change of the guard. And it is evident in the posture of your opponent in terms of the continuous campaigning. There's an underlying rule in politics, not just in Jamaica, but globally, that when a political party loses an election and the opposition and becomes the opposition, there's a breathing space that is given to the ruling party so that they can at least start to govern. Last week on this program, one of the things that Rosie Hamilton begged for was the space for you to perform. Are you in agreement with what Rosie said? And expand on that for us a little bit.
Yes, I totally agree with her. The truth is, I've not been given a break. I've been burying people left, right, and center, seeking assistance through, you know, the relevant government agencies who assist, who have that kind of provision, resources, and we've been doing a lot of that, and it's really getting to me. It's it's as if somebody's saying, I'm trying to get into your head. I'm not giving you a break. I don't like that. This is how I am seeing it. I'm seeing it like it's just ongoing, you know? And I would really, no, you can't, Marco, politics is what it is. It's politics.
It is just politics, yes.
But at least, let the people be the judge. Allow the MP to work. Allow him to implement his plans and policies. Let's see what he has to offer.
Right.
Let's give him a little room. Let's see what he does. Let the people after, because that's how we have it, about election cycle, The people will be the judge at the end of the day,
Absolutely, yes.
They will say, Mr. Williams, you did well, You tried and you did well, and this is what you did, and we see a future in you. We're going to put you back. Or them say, Mr. Williams, you do nothing, You just all talk and we don't see no action. The place no build up. We not the rubbish that they see me, the road them bad, the water there, the light we not see nothing. Look how long we tell us that little place they want to fix. And nobody no pay no attention. Mark, you can't do everything magically overnight, Because Rome wasn't built in a day or a night or whatever.
Correct.
But let the people be the judge. I say to the people out there, if your motive, and I'm talking to people behind the violence, the gang, the war, the activities, the crimes, if your motive is to get my attention, you're not going to get it. I'll tell you straight up. I cannot be extorted. I don't deal with extortion. If you know that your mayhem that you're creating in my constituency or the people's constituency has political motivation, I'm asking you to stop it. Desist. Please. If it is, I'm not saying it is, I'm just saying if that's the case. If your motivation is that you have a beef with a man from another corner and you have a gangster problem, look here. You know what is going to happen? All our own are going to end up 6'6".
Absolutely.
That's what's going to happen. This ego. Let go the ego, man. Let go the ego. Let go the ego. The ego going to send everybody 6'6". Allow the young men to develop in the community. Allow them to finish school. Allow them to chat apart. Allow them to have them little go at them church. Allow them to have them little girlfriends. Allow them to develop. Don't take these young boys at 15 and 14 and I give them guns and encourage them. And I know some men in the community, them tell the boy them go to school, them all give them money for go to school. There are good people in the place about it. Don't get me wrong.
There's another proposal that was put forward by Imani Duncan Price, which is for yourself, herself, and other major players within the constituency to have what is called a walk. And we have seen that in several other constituencies before. What say you on that?
Now, for political representatives to have a walk, you would be implicit in that. That's an admission that the violence is politically motivated. Because you have to be careful when you ask for a walk with political representatives.
I'm
just saying that. No. This is it. You see, some of these guys who are perpetrating the crime, no walk can't help some of them. Some are bent on evil. Some, the police have to deal with them. That's the frank truth. I've come to learn that. The police have to do their intelligence gathering. There are some people who the police have to just prosecute. Some people just, you can't reach them.
Irredeemable.
The truth is there are some people like that. Most of them are redeemable though. But there are some people who are just bent on evil.
Yes. So
the state has to deal with them. The state has to deal with them.
A walk with the opposition really doesn't carry.
No, we're not in a political, we're not in a campaign mode. There's no election on, there is no, I don't see the reason for political representatives to walk. I mean, if we do that, we're saying it's an admission that we have political tribalism in the constituency.
All right, Ms. Hamilton, in your presentation last week stated that if she agrees to walk with the opposition, it is saying that she is the perpetrator of the conflict within the constituency. Are you in agreement with that position?
To some extent, but the war can be interpreted as symbolic in a sense, yes. But the truth is, we have reached a stage where we don't need to walk to tell for people to get the message.
Right.
You understand me? They are rational people. They know what is going on. They see what is going on, man. They know what is happening. They know what they are doing. They know who. They know themselves. They just need to sit back and say, "Look here, bossy, control me ego. Give this place a break. Allow things to happen. Let's see where it takes us."
Correct.
Don't jump to any pre-position or any conclusion on the MP or any, be careful of, and there are some people, bossy, I tell you, you have some mischief makers in the constituency. They go around and they make mischief, and they do it for political reasons, for true. Some of them, the MP now go give you, the MP now pay no mind down, so boy, I just hope this up. Look here, no see who mapper, and you see where him go, where him this, where him that, and they create mischief, and they sow seeds. They sow seeds of discord
among them fellow men,
among them people, and they do it for political purposes to divide
and rule. Yep.
And draw lines. We don't need no lines right now. We just need to come together as Central Kingston, build up the place. You know what? The people vote JLP. You know why? The people trust this JLP government. They watch them and they see that they were working. They see that the JLP government, if there's any government to restore Central Kingston, to restore Kingston City, my brother is doing an excellent job as a mayor. And I know he has a lot of plans for Kingston. Allow us to work. Give us the space. Because I'm telling you, Kingston has a lot of potential, and already you can see what is happening. There is light at the end of the tunnel for Central Kingston and Kingston in general.
Absolutely. Let's take a quick break. Donovan Williams, Member of Parliament for Central Kingston.
I think I might need to get my charger.
I will come back and give you a chance to wrap it up. You're going to have the last word when we come back. So stick and stay. We'll be right back.
Yes, sir.
Full of flavor, no if or no maybe. Malta, my crave on a daily. I couldn't ask for a better cold glass. Coffee can't pass from this. My Malta, my pocket with me. You know me got it with me. I feel have a buckle for myself. Yesterday the shop locked, so today me come back. 2 new flavors on the shelf. Me say me see it and me grab it and me love it and buy it. My mommy take it and she pull it and try it. She say Malta in the morning, afternoon or night. And she finish it, she don't need no help. Drink them all. Coffee or vanilla, the Jamaican original. Have it with me lunch and my dinner. Ginseng with the ginger make you settle and you simmer. Good for the baller and the singer. Make you feel good and it tastes real nice. Better when cool, so we put it on ice. Take a sip once, if you take a sip twice. Mother full of flavor for life. Mother full of flavor for life.
Spice up your winnings. New game supreme up on the scene. Hot pick a do it and it easy if you win. Pick any number from 1 to 15. Then all you do is watch all your winnings come in. All you need a $10. You can bet it and make it in $100. You might even win a 110 or 130. And the best money this you ever spend, dada. Hot pick, Supreme Ventures, this is the new hot topic. So easy if you win, check your ticket for the payout where you get, then wrap up your money in the elastic. See there, we're catching number 7. You win $100, TC win 110, and SWAT wins with 130. Hot pick, easy to win. Easy if you win, me say easy if you win. Easy if you win, me say.
Introducing Hot Pick, the hot new way to play from Supreme Ventures. Prizes are random. 6 draws per day. Visit supremeventures.com for details.
Easy to play, easy to win.
Hello? 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 Yeah, you. Hold on, and a pandemic winner. You're now wearing a mask, you're now washing your hand, and you now keep the required 6 feet distancing from other people. And what could that really cause you? You need to stop it. That no mask, no wash, and no distance something there, nah keep. You know what keep? COVID-19. Yeah, it not gone nowhere. COVID-19, they are same way. So here what you are going to do for all of we. Wear your mask, wash or sanitize your hands pan a regular, and yeah, keep your distance, please. And thanks.
All right, so welcome back, folks. As you would have seen, we have MP Donovan Williams here with us. Very interesting. It's my first time having that level of communication with him. Gentleman is ready. Gentleman is fired up and ready to deliver prosperity to Central Kingston. There's no difference in the plea that we got last week. He's asking for space and for time to get to work. MP Williams, I'm going to give you the last word. I don't want to keep you up too much until your phone dies. I'm going to give you the last word because a lot of your constituencies here, there are persons here from Central Kingston who lives in several countries all over the world. They're messaging me all over and they're watching. It is your chance to talk to your constituents. Take it away.
Can I just say something to the constituents about there's a particular issue? Can I just address them on that particular issue? Now, in recent times, we have been having some load shedding. For example, on Wildman Street, in the Raytown area and the Campbelltown area, we have been having some load shedding. Now, I'm saying to the residents, I've been in discussion with officers of the Jamaica Public Service Company Limited, and what they tell me is that we all know there is a lot of illegal connections, and people put freezer everything, business places, everything, and what they are saying is it has created an overload. So because of the overload, you have load shedding. So what they say is that 9% of the persons, or 95%, don't have a lawful connection, and so it hurts to 5% when you have the overload. Now, why I raise this issue, I want to say to the residents, I've been in touch with the Jamaica Public Service.
Yes.
And we're going to be going on a drive in the constituency to regularize as best as possible. Because that's the only way we can solve this problem, people. The only way we can solve this problem is to regularize. Now, I know that there's an issue where some persons are saying that they can't afford to get the electrician to come and pass the place. Because a lot of the residents want to get them things started out properly in a bar.
Right.
I don't want people to get the impression that the people in Central Kingston don't want to pay their bills. No. There are genuine people here who want them things regularized properly. However, some can't afford the electrical wiring money to set the premises.
Right.
Also, as we said earlier, some don't own these premises.
There you go.
You see the issue?
Yep.
So what I'm saying, I'm going to be appealing to the Ministry of Local Government and all, appeal to the relevant agencies to see if we can introduce a program to assist those who have challenges with wiring your place, getting your place passed so that JPS can regularize you. Because when that happens, everybody will be happy eventually, because you don't have no more light cutting off, no load shedding. So I thought, and that's one of the job of an MP, we have to be gone are the days when we allow certain things to happen because we're looking at political. You say, boy, it's political suicide if me mention that. People are going to cuff me. Say, me want to come take my light. You understand where I'm coming from?
We cannot promote lawlessness in the constituency.
Exactly. So, as part of the whole principle, what I'm saying is that we have to get it into our citizens as residents. So we have to start becoming a little more. We have to be more responsible.
Responsible, yeah.
Responsible. We have to be your brother's keeper. Because if I continue to overload the system and I don't pay $1, it a go hurt my neighbor who a try pay for her little daughter go online and do her pep classes. Her light cutter, she can't do her pep classes. So my action is impacting on my neighbor.
Right.
So this is what I want for Central Kingston. To move Central Kingston forward, I need a partnership with the residents to say, look here, all we used to practice in the past, you know, we have to start seeing ourselves now as we have to move away from certain things. Regularize. Just like how I want to get to your land title. I want to get your land title.
Yes.
I also want to get you a proper electric supply.
Correct.
I want you to get proper water. When you start to do these things, you know, you start to take more pride in your place.
Absolutely. That's so correct.
You start to feel like a man.
Yeah, man.
I pay my light bill.
People can't laugh at you anymore.
Exactly. So this is what, that kind of mentality, we have to get rid of it in Central Kingston, where everything is free. We have to move on. Some politicians, some people might be afraid to say it, but I'm not afraid. Because I know the people know that I mean them good. Because if you don't have the light, if we don't regularize, we're going to have problems. We're going to have more load shedding, and we're going to affect the community. So I just want to reach out to those residents. I know Campbelltown having a little problem. I've spoken with them. The people said they are ready to regularize. I spoke with some persons in Raytown. They say, yes, Mr. Williams, we're willing to sort out the thing, get some help, regularize. I've spoken to people in Wildman Street, and they are ready. People want to see their community regularized. This will help the crime, you know. When people start taking more responsibility and cut out the free mentality.
Yeah, man, absolutely. You're perfectly correct. You're perfectly correct. So you're in touch with that going, right?
Yes. My final appeal now to the residents now, to the young men, the youngsters. Look here. Please. There is a better way. Give peace a chance. You kill that man's father, that man will want to kill back your father. You understand? When you touch my sister, me want to touch back your sister. It's a cycle. It will continue. Look here. There's a saying that, look here. An eye for an eye is going to leave the whole world blind.
No, absolutely.
Nobody want an eye. I don't care what kind of side in him. It is not going to help you or your... Look here, think about the children in Central Kingston now, the bright young kids. I have been to a school, I toured a couple schools the other day. Saw some students doing face-to-face from Kingston Central. Bright kids. I've interacted with some children. Young men. Give these children a future. We may have had a little challenge when we go through. But think about these children. Learn to forgive. Learn to forgive. If you don't forgive, it will continue.
Cycle continues.
It's a cycle. Young men, it's going to be a cycle. We can have a better Central Kingston.
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
I'm asking you, please. Park the gun. Just park it. Call up John and say, boy, John, may I have a problem from long time, but guess what? A pure foolishness are gone. Too much man are dead. Pitney are dead. Mommy are dead. Look here, we need to stop this foolishness. Come, we could be big man, boss, and deal with this. Give a community a chance. Look here. COVID soon finish, you know. COVID will eventually go, you know. When COVID go, you know what, keep your little party and make your little money. You know what, back your entertainment life. People want to go back to them local church. People want to walk across borders to go to them church. People want to go to them work. People want to make money. People want to back them shop. Yes. If don't stifle the community, man. Give the community a break. Be big men, man. Mature up yourself, man. Give it a break. Want a better community.
Yes, sir.
More can't go look for my girlfriend next door or over there, so. More can't walk go work. Young man I come from work the other day, you know. KPH him work. Them shot him. The young man have nothing to do with nothing. Me have to be frank. How that help you? Make you feel like a man, bossy? Feel big? No, man. There's a better way, man. Give Central Kingston a chance. We can make it. And look here. Central Kingston, the prosperity is for all. Development will take place all over, not one place. It's an entire constituency. Projects are coming. Big plans are on the way for Central Kingston. Big plans for downtown. Lot of business opportunities will come up. Lot of employment opportunities. Be patient. Stay alive so you can reap it.
Absolutely.
And so your children can reap a better tomorrow. Thank you very much, sir.
Appreciate you. Appreciate you, MP. All the best to you. And we look forward to having this conversation again.
Yes, man. Take care.
Yeah, man. Thank you so much.
Yes.
That was Donovan Williams, the Member of Parliament for Central Kingston. Giving it to you in no uncertain terms. He's just making it clear as to what are some of the things that are in the pipeline for Central Kingston. We talked about the crime in the area, talked about the youths, talked about some of the work that he's been doing, talk about the whole downtown Kingston corridor and some of the development that is on its way there. The Parliament building will fall within his constituency as well, the Almond Town area. The extension of the downtown waterfront area there, that work is ongoing now, and that falls deeply within his constituency as well. So, so there you have it, folks. MP Donovan Williams, Central Kingston, very bright young man. He's energetic and seems to be poised and ready to deliver prosperity to a constituency that has been plagued by crime and violence for decades. You know, sometimes you really feel hurt within yourself, because Jamaica could be a better place. Jamaica should have been a first world country. Unfortunately, we lost about 10 years. A matter of fact, I would want to say we lost the entire 90s. When the rest of the world was booming, the rest of the world, the global economy was growing by 10 and up to 15% in some areas. Jamaica went backward. And I think it's a struggle for us to get back. You know, they said time wasted can never be regained. And if there's any truth to that, Jamaica is a testimony to it. We've lost a significant amount of the 1990s, and we're struggling now to get it back. Central Kingston can do better. That's what MP Williams just mentioned. That Central Kingston indeed can be a better place and should be a better place. It's unfortunate that when things were better, we did not seize the opportunity to grow these communities. I'm quite certain that the persons who are at the helm now will not just sit and continue on the past. I think the persons who are at the helm now will take responsibility and understand that they are now the steward of the constituency. They are now responsible for shaping the future. And very soon, people like Donovan Williams will no longer have the liberty of speaking about what the PNP would have done or others would have done. Like I've said to him in our discussion earlier, that he will have to take responsibility for his actions and for what he has brought to the table. At some point, he will have to point to the people of Central Kingston and say to them, this is what I have achieved. And I'm hoping that not just MP Williams, but other member of parliaments throughout Jamaica will start to take pride in the level of representation that they provide for the people. Jamaica can be a better place. I have the opportunity of traveling to a first world country, lived in a first world country, and see what life is like in a first world country. Jamaica has the potential to be the best. We have not unearthed that talent yet. I think our best prospect is what we have now. I think we have a government and an administration that understands what is necessary to develop a country. I think the empowering of people, giving people opportunity to work and to develop themselves is key. I see that that's the direction in which the country is going now. And I'm hoping that people will seize the opportunity. COVID is about to, the restriction on COVID is still on. There are still some stipulations as to where we can go and the mask wearing and all that stuff. I think that's going to be lifted very soon. There's 1.5 million doses of the Johnson & Johnson vaccine that is slated to hit the shores of Jamaica within a matter of months. I certainly believe that once that gets to Jamaica, then within a matter of month or so, we should be at our peak of vaccination, where we can hit herd immunity. It means that Jamaica will be opening again for business. And I would implore most of you to seize the opportunity to put yourself in a position that when Jamaica reopens, you're a part of the productive sector, you're a part of the business sector, you're a part of benefiting or reaping. Because after this lull, there's going to be movements within the economy. And one should not just sit around and wait for political handouts or anything, but create some opportunities. Create some opportunities that you can benefit from the opening of the economy. It was a pleasure bringing this to you. Like I said to you before we started, I said I would have mentioned it to you, and I'm going to mention it today, that next week we will have live on the chopping block none other than the Member of Parliament for Central Westmoreland, George Wright. George Wright will join us live next week, Sunday. You don't want to miss it. No question off bound. We will have an open and frank discussion. We'll talk about all the work that has been done in Central Westmoreland. We'll talk about his tenure as councillor. And we'll talk about his ascendancy into the seat as Member of Parliament. We'll talk about the controversy that surrounds him, and now he's sitting as a independent member. How is that, and how will that affect the constituency that he represents? So George Wright will join us next week, Sunday, 7:30. Mark your calendar, charge your device, and get yourself ready. He'll be here live in living colors. Again, we appreciate you guys for checking in. It's a pleasure bringing it to you. And whenever you hear that sound, you know that we have come to the end of another in the series of the chopping block. A lot of persons are asking us to bring the councillors on. That is something that we're discussing. It's in the making. Donovan Hutchinson, thank you for joining us. Patroy Seal, we appreciate you. Mr. Eric Wint, respect to you, sir. Keisha Daly, thank you for joining us. Jennifer Brooks, we see you. Thanks to the Member of Parliament for Central Kingston, Donovan Williams, for joining us. Anishka Christie, our able producer, big up yourself. Philip Edwards, good to see you, sir. Peter Wilson, thank you for joining us. Marlene Williams, as always, big up. Paul C. Distance, you're in the building, thank you. And just before we head out of town, let me just also ask you, it's 265 persons watching. And like we said last week, we intend on growing our numbers because we want to make some big moves, right? But it's unfortunate we can't make those moves until our numbers are at a certain level. So the chopping block page, folks, like I've asked you last week, and you guys went out of your way to ensure that you tell a friend, tweet a friend, phone a friend, and ask a friend to like the chopping block page. That's going to be tremendous because we have a lot of work to do. And the more we can, the quicker we can get the chopping block page to go up to 10,000, is the quicker we'll be able to make the moves that we want to make. So our objective is to get the chopping block page up to 10,000. We're getting there. And we're asking you guys to spread the word. Ask your friends. Post it in your WhatsApp groups. Ask your colleagues to like the chopping block page. And also, our Chops Media page, which is on Instagram. Chops Media on Instagram and on YouTube. The most important thing is YouTube. Our YouTube channel needs to be built out so we can get to do all the stuff that we are poised to do. So I implore you guys and ask you to encourage your friends to like our Instagram page and to like our YouTube channel, Chops Media, and that's going to be posted on the chopping block page, so you guys can follow the link. You know, right now we have 180 persons watching, and if every one of you guys hop over to the YouTube channel and just subscribe, turn on your notification bell, because very soon, guys, that's where the action is going to be, and you don't want to be missing out on some of the commentaries and some of the discussions that we'll be having, political discussion and otherwise. Most of it is going to be on our YouTube channel. So subscribe, you know, tell your friend, turn on the notification bell. That means you won't miss any of the contents that is posted there. So I implore you and beg you, ask you kindly, nicely to like and to subscribe to the YouTube channel, and also to like the chopping block page. Until next week, same time, same place, it is yours truly with another episode of the chopping block. We'll be back. Take care of yourself. Love, peace, out.
Hello? 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 Yeah, you. Hold on, and a pandemic winner. You're now wearing a mask, you're now washing your hand, and you now keep the required 6 feet distancing from other people. And what could I really cause you? You need to stop it. That no mask, no wash, and no distance something there, nah keep. You know what keep? COVID-19. Yeah, it not gone nowhere. COVID-19, they are same way. So here what you are going to do for all of we. Wear your mask, wash or sanitize your hands pan a regular, and yeah, keep your distance, please. And thanks.
Hey, you can be anything you want in a life, and where you come from, and where your mindset there. Look on me, now we come from the yard, and the ghetto wanna represent the brand Pepsi. Hey.
Yeah, we're doing it for the love. So good here we can't get enough. Every taste, every vibe, every kick in a hit, I can rise up above.
For the love of taste, I can.
For the love of self-expression, I can. For the love of standing out, I can.
For the love of myself, I can.
For the love of moving people, I can.
For the love of my country, I can.
Jamaican, I can. Jamaican, I can. Jamaican, I can.
These are unprecedented times when our courage and love for each other is tested by a global crisis. And while you have no choice but to postpone your travel plans, we understand it is the right thing to do, and we know the brighter days will return. After times of crisis, travel has always brought the world together and has allowed Jamaica to serve the world with one heart and as one people. To slow the spread of this unprecedented and challenging health pandemic, we urge you near and far to observe the many calls for social distancing. We're doing the same, and we look forward to when next we meet again. So even though we're many beating hearts, in times like these, our hearts beat as one. Jamaica, heartbeat of the world.
Hey, son.
Oh, you would have feel. Don't do that. Oh, you would have feel. Never want it back.
Oh, you feel look on a woman and you want raise your hand like you don't understand, so she never really time to see. You think a trick, she a trick.
Oh, you would have feel.
And if a little man cough, you want kill him off, like your brain soft, right, see you gone past. You want more of this?
Tell me how you would have feel if I you them son, if you are the family, if you catch COVID-19.
Yo, we need to respect one another.
Step in the shoes of your sister, yeah. Don't do that. Oh, you would have feel. Never want it back.
A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.